for retirement can start today. From the News Channel 5 Network, this is the Retirement Report.
Good morning. Welcome to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. Got a good show in store for you today. I'm going to help you with setting up a foundational plan. You know, I've talked about it in my book, The 7 Steps to Financial Freedom in Retirement. First 2 chapters are, in fact, about how to set up a foundational retirement plan. We're going to talk about that. See, here's the thing. I meet with dozens of people every month. People that come into the office that are looking to get their plans in order, that, you know, ask questions like, they're concerned about when can I retire? Will I be able to, maintain my standard of living during retirement? What about medical kind of costs? Am I going to have, what kind of planning do I need to do around that? Long-term care is a big concern. Basically making sure that they can, in fact, retire when they want. And sometimes that's one of the questions, of course. When can I retire? So they're looking to do all these things. Why? You want that security, right? You want the peace of mind of knowing I'm on the right track. I can't tell you how many people, they'll come in and say, can you give me a grade? Am I doing it, am I doing a C-type job, an A-type job? Am I going to be able to accomplish the goals that I've set forth here? If I want to retire in 2 years, can I really do that without putting myself or my family at risk? These are some of the questions that we're going to answer this morning. When we look at it over the last in particular, let's say the last 12 to 13 years, with what we've seen in the stock market, all the volatility, now we've had this big run, right? Well, let's say back in '08, things went really horribly bad, and you had the stock market drop by 37%. And for some folks, if they, held into portfolios that maybe lost 40 or 50% of their money in 1 year's time, or over a period of, say, 17 to 18 months even. So, and what happened? Well, a lot of them bailed out. They didn't stick around through all that. As they started seeing their money go away, they started getting nervous and they got out. Then they sat on the sidelines and they maybe missed a very strong run in the market, or they got in after that, maybe midway through that run. And so they're very nervous about what they should do. Okay, I've had folks come in, they said, I got out at this point in time, right around '09 maybe, and now I've been sitting there, and I know I've missed this, but now I'm nervous because the market's done so well. Do I get in now and maybe it's going to go south again? We've had such a long run. So they're nervous about what they're going to do. So they get stuck, all right? You get frozen. There's a great quote, the first best thing to do, all right? The best thing you can do is, of course, the right thing, all right? What is the second best thing you can do? Well, actually, it's the wrong thing. Because through doing the wrong thing, at least you can correct. You can see, oops, this isn't leading me where I want to go. I need to fix this quickly, all right? The worst thing you can do is nothing, all right? To sit there and be frozen and not do anything is the worst thing that you can do in terms of your future. At least let's start with one of the ways to determine what the right thing to do is to start by measuring where you're at today. And that's what I'm going to help you with. In the first 2 chapters of the book, and I'm going to give some giveaways. So I want you to have your pen and paper handy today. We're going to get the number up on the screen for you a number of times. The first chapter of my book is getting the nest egg ready to hatch. All right, and basically this is about measuring what you have for your assets, what kind of income you're going to have, getting all this information gathered together. The second one is putting those assets to work for you. Money is a terrible master. This is from P.T. Barnum. Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. And that's the thing, is to get your money working as hard for you as you did for it. And now we're going to help you with that today. So what you're going to get from this then, we're going to go about 5 steps and answer these kind of questions. How much retirement income will you have in retirement? We can help you figure that out. What will your standard of living be in retirement? Again, that's going to tie around what you're going to have for income, isn't it? Will you need to work in retirement? We're going to help you figure that out this morning. What steps or, do you need to take to protect yourself? And this is one of the other areas. There are strategies you can use that can protect you against outliving your money, against high bills for medical, how to have money set aside to help cover that, how to cover long-term care expenses without breaking the bank, investment losses, how to protect yourself against the volatility in the market, those big drops that could put you way behind the 8 ball. And God forbid if you lost your spouse early and that meant a loss of income, what is that going to mean for that surviving spouse? For a couple, when couples come in to see me, this is one of the big concerns they have, is how can we make sure not only, that we're able to maintain our standard of living, but God forbid something happens to one of us, that survivor is going to be well taken care of as well, and we're going to help you with that. So, and of course the biggest one, when can you retire? Well, let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about how you go about this process. So we're going to start, I've got some slides we've set up for you on some material that I make available through my office. This one we call the Financial Lifestyle Fact Finder. To get this, I cover this in my book in the first 2 chapters, and I'm going to offer those out to you today. I'll show you how to get those, but also how to get this fact finder so that you can start setting up that foundational plan yourself. And I'm also going to offer you some other things, so stay on for that. One is that all this first page does is this just gathers the basic information. Name, address, your phone number, just gathering all the things together in one place. This is what's going to help me help you with regard to your plan, and it's the kind of information you're going to need for filling out different forms and stuff you're going to get into as you get nearer and nearer to retirement. Your date of birth, who your employer, how long you've been there. Then we're going to go to the next page, page 2. All right, on this one we're getting into, do you expect to care for a child or parent? We have folks that come in that have special needs children or maybe special needs grandchildren that they want to plan for. So we want to find out about that. We want to put that into the planning. Or is there a possibility that as your parents are getting older, you can see that, I might need to have mom or dad may need to move in with me, or I may need to help them financially. If that's the case, again, we want to factor that into your planning. Do you have someone you're working with currently? And if so, how well is that relationship working? If we're having to go through this process, I'm going to guess that you don't have someone that's helping you answer these very questions. Have you had stockbrokers or investment advisors in the past that maybe you've had problems with in how they managed the money, if you will, or how they helped you with the investments, which led to big losses, and that's given you this fear of the market? So we can help you, there again, I'd like to know that. So the more I know when I'm working with someone, and the more you look at these things as you're developing your plan, the easier it is then to develop strategies. Children, how many children, grandchildren, and what kind of planning may go around that. Any concerns you may be having personally we want to get into, and how you feel that I may help you. I always ask people when you come in to see me, what is the, because we give free consultations, right? That first visit, there's no charge for that. So one of the things I want to say to you is that, what do you want most from me today? How best can I help you and give you the most out of this visit? And then some protection. Do you have any potential health problems? Have you ever been declined or rated for insurance? That would indicate, again, some health issues. Are you a smoker? Because again, if you're looking, as we go through, that's good for now, Marilena. We'll come back on with this. If you're on the insurance side, we may determine, do you need insurance, for instance? If we look at to start measuring up what you're going to have for assets, what kind of income is going to be derived from that, and if you were to pass early, would that cause lesser income for the surviving spouse? Would there be enough assets to provide the necessary income, or is there going to be an insurance need? That's one of the things that we can determine through that. So, and whether it's viable, okay, depending on your health, insurance may or may not even be something that would be available to you. So these are all some of the things we start with at the beginning. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Before we do, again, we're going to get up on the screen. I'm going to get you information. I'm going to offer it to you today. First 2 chapters of the book, we've segregated them out for you just to go with this material. So I'm going to help you. We're going to call it our basic financial plan package, okay? I'm going to give it to you at no charge. All you'd have to do is call the office at 376 5325, and this is going to help you get these questions answered, so that you'll be able to have peace of mind and know exactly what you're going to have when it's time for retirement. All right, we're going to help you develop all that, and we've got more coming up here, so join us when we return here on the Retirement Report.